Hey everybody, welcome back to this Let's Play of Final Fantasy. For the final part, I am Drak. Let's get to it, shall we? Last time, we began the Temple, or we continue on through the Temple of Chaos and met 3 of the fiends that we had killed, but now we're about to meet the 4th. We also uncovered the legendary sword Masamune, which has increased Bartz's attack power to be able to at least do something resembling Yang. He's not as broken as Yang, but that's okay, because we still like him. He's a good guy. Bartz, I mean, not Yang. Yang's broken. We like Yang too. Alright, and it's random encounters galore, and look, oh look. We had to deal with Aquos' last part, now we have to deal with Eros. I mean, I love them. They're so great. Yeah. So in the meantime, while we're making our way to Tiamat, one thing I would like to hear from you guys is, how are your holidays going? Because we are right into the middle of the holidays. Happy holidays to you, however you celebrate them. And just, what are you doing? If you're a gamer, what are you playing? I mean, do you dig out specific games, kind of like with Halloween? For me, not so much. I like to dig out the stuff that I remember loving from childhood, so maybe a Mario game or two, maybe a classic Mega Man, something like that. But this year, that's not going to be the case, because I've got lots of games to catch up on. I've still got a pile yay high. People can't see where I'm pointing up, but it's pretty freaking high. Some of them haven't even been opened yet. This is going to be really bad, considering we just had new consoles come out. I gotta grind through this pile before I get into another big pile with new consoles. It's gonna happen. Alright, let's do a quick heal, because Tiamat is right around the corner, and we don't want to be caught unawares. I think this is where he is. Yep, Tiamat. So Tiamat's back. Yay! We're gonna play it safe. And in the meantime, we're gonna make Yang super fast so that we can end this. Oh look, Thunderbolt! It's back! So now we get to see what it does without the barrier. Not too bad. 400! Now, Final Fantasy fans may know Masamune very well. There is a legend to it in Japan, but it's kind of the Excalibur of these games to Japanese players. I actually like a little bit later what another Square series did with Masamune, specifically Chrono Trigger, but that's me. The way that a lot of Final Fantasy fans would know Masamune would be probably Sephiroth, because of the giant katana he wields his Masamune. Oh, bye-bye, Tiamat. Seriously, they're just pushovers this time around. A couple of hits from Yang, they're done. What's wrong with that? We don't have a problem with this, because the boss that gives us no problems is awesome. Because we'll have another boss fight coming. Alright. More Mind Flayers. We can run from them, so we will. And now we are on the final floor. There are actually no encounters on this floor. And now we get to walk into this door and... Oh! Garland! Well, don't you look familiar? Don't remember me? It's Garland. Yeah, we know. What's going on here? 2,000 years into the future, you killed me. But the 4 great forces sent me back in time, thus resurrecting me in the past. Why? The wheel of time revolves eternally. I sent the 4 fiends of chaos into the future, and they shall once again send my future self into the past. Time loop? 2,000 years from now, I will lose all memory of the past. Okay. And you became a demon. But in that past, I will be reborn yet again. Your life shall end here, and mine shall last forever! Seriously, dude. Pimple on your face, man. Oh, well, pimples everywhere. Welcome, everybody, to the final encounter with Chaos. Yes, I know. Time paradoxes are weird. But for us, we didn't care, because this was the final boss, and that meant we beat the game. So... yeah, if you were looking for, like, a complex story, those don't come till later. The NES library doesn't really have a complex storyline for either of the first 3 games. At least to my knowledge. If people want to chime in on that, that'd be great. But Final Fantasy IV was, like, the first time when I knew a full-on intricate story had been done. A story that made sense. And this guy has the power of all the 4 fiends, and their empowered abilities, plus some of his own. So he's not fun at all. As you can see, he's kind of wiping the floor with me. And on top of that, since he's the final boss, I think he gets to go twice in 1 round. Which, bleh. That means he can just sit there and constantly hit us. And Yang is not as broken with Chaos. We'll need to get some stone on him, or some steel on him. Not stone. Stone means he's dead. Faster hitting Yang! Faster hitting Yang! Alright, we gotta keep the healer alive. 600. 1400. Twister! No! I hope this doesn't do what I think it does. Most wind spells in Final Fantasy suck. Ah, boom, 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 boom. Okay, it doesn't do it. Thank you. In most Final Fantasy games, a wind spell will actually take you down to, like, your last 2 HP. You're like, no! Oh, Earthquake. That missed us, which means it's probably like a 1-hit kill. And there's Flare. Boom, 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 boom. 100. Really? 400? Ooh! That's game! That is game, boys and girls. Chaos is dead, and he is going to start slowly going into this vortex. We're going to push him. Get down! Get down there! Get down there! Flush him down the toilet! Yay! We did it! We're the heroes of light! We'll do our victory stance in a little bit. And now we get rewarded with this. Pretty. The time loop was severed at last. The battle spanning 2,000 years came to an end and peace prevailed. I love it, they have a name for the battle. It doesn't even make sense that they have a name for it. The light of the 4 crystals revived the wind, water, earth, and fire. Yeah, we covered that. It all began with a trivial misunderstanding, but it was enough to open Garland's heart to darkness. I don't see where you get misunderstanding there. His hatred swelling with the 4 forces of nature, and from it were born the 4 fiends of chaos. Evil swallowed the world, plunging all into darkness. But that is now past, the stuff of legends. Thanks to the courage and the strength of the 4 warriors, all has been set right again. And they had to destroy the DeLorean. Warriors would travel in time once more. The world to which they return will be restored to its natural state. And then they destroy the DeLorean. Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland will be there, oblivious to what happened in that time, twisted dimension. Interesting wordplay. But when did it all begin? The source of the chaos lay in a strand of time that looped around to connect 2,000 years. That doesn't really explain anything. 4 warriors were chosen by the very forces that had plunged the world into darkness. These 4 forces were the key to banishing the darkness as well. And when everything was over, the memory of the 4 warriors' journey to the past was destined to be lost forever. It's timey-wimey stuff, go with it. But their deeds will survive in people's hearts as legend. The tales will be passed down for generations to come. Dwarves and elves, dragons, people who reach for the stars, all will cherish the tales. The warriors are returning, traveling back from the world 2,000 years past. With the memory of their journey buried deep within their hearts, they will carry on their lives and watch over the world. Never forget, the light of this world must always be guided in the right direction. If it goes astray, darkness will come again. A crystal shines within every heart. A crystal gleams within your heart too. For you are the one who fought the battle spanning 2,000 years. And I wasn't alone. I had the YouTube community with me. So you guys also helped fight the battle spanning 2,000 years. Yay you. May the world be blessed with light for eternity. Aw, little doves. Yes, I'm being corny, but, you know, this is kind of a corny ending. Alright, guys, so that is the end of Final Fantasy for the PlayStation. We got some credits to roll, just some more design choices on the remake of the PlayStation remake. We also get to see that more veteran staff from the Super Nintendo era got to work on this. My final thoughts on this, I would love to hear your final thoughts on the Let's Play as well as the game itself. My final thoughts, however, this still holds up. If we had done it on the NES version, it would have lost a little bit, in my opinion. I know there are diehard Final Fantasy fans who will disagree with me. You should have played the NES version, but I felt that this was the way to go, because it was a little bit more familiar with people, what people might remember, since it is more of a 16 to 32-bit game. But I still love it. It's not the highest on my list of the Final Fantasy games, but it's up there. It has a corny story, and it has a very straightforward way of telling it, but it's not bad. It doesn't have a lot of what I would consider to be some of the worse elements in later games. In fact, we're going to have to deal with some of that pretty soon, because next time on the Drak Let's Plays, we are going to be tackling the second game, Final Fantasy II. Now, for American players, I know some of you know how this works, but to those who don't, the Final Fantasy II that you may know is not the second game. If it's Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo, that's actually the fourth. Final Fantasy II did not release here until this came out. Until this PlayStation game came out, Final Fantasy Origins. And then we got access to the second game. You can emulate it too. And 2 is one of those that I do have some complaints about. The story's not bad. One of the things that you will never hear, or rarely hear me say, is that the story is bad. 2's story is not bad, it's just, its gameplay is a little weird. So, we'll have to deal with that, but that will start up next week. So, first of all, I hope you all have enjoyed this Let's Play of Final Fantasy for the PlayStation. I am Drak2326. If you would like to see more stuff that I have done, first of all, I did a Let's Play for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Go check that out. And then also, I do a lot of Let's Plays with my brother-in-law, Alex, or ShadowBlazer3000, over at youtube.com/DrakandShadow. You can look up all of our LPs. We have a lot that are finished at this point, and we've got even more coming, especially since we're actually coming up on a year's anniversary over at Drak and Shadow. So stay tuned on that. And also, if you want to see more stuff that Alex has done, go over to youtube.com/ShadowBlazer3000. But in the meantime, we will see you next week for the beginning of Final Fantasy II for the PlayStation.